Welcome back to Whistle Where You Work. The name WikiLeaks burst on the scene this spring when the website posted a video of a 2007 gunship attack in Baghdad by a U.S. helicopter that killed 12 civilians, including 2 Reuters news staff. A 22-year-old U.S. Army intelligence analyst, Bradley Manning, was arrested for releasing the video and some 150,000 diplomatic cables to WikiLeaks. And WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been the target of an international manhunt by the Pentagon. The U.S. government takes the view that Manning, Assange, and WikiLeaks irresponsibly and dangerously published classified and sensitive materials and should be silenced. But is there a right way to disclose evidence of a civilian slaughter, an official cover-up of inconvenient news about how the permanent war on terror is going? Jesselyn Radack is the Homeland Security and Human Rights Director of the Government Accountability Project, the leading whistleblower organization in the U.S. Welcome back to Whistle Where You Work.
Thank you.
The U.S. government looks at this helicopter attack and sees that release of this video is going to inflame a tinderbox. Aren't they right in thinking that?
It's interesting to me how quickly the U.S. government has changed the focus of this story from being an Army helicopter massacring unarmed, innocent Iraqi civilians as if it were a video game to a conversation about trashing Bradley Manning, who's been accused of releasing it. It's kind of the classic shoot the messenger rather than focus on the message. I don't see how the actual video itself would inflame sensibilities over there any more than torturing people would or other things that the U.S. has done.
But Bradley Manning, he's an individual. Mm-hmm. He took it upon himself, appointed himself the person to disclose both this video and these diplomatic cables. He's not authorized to do that. And there is an official process for the release of classified or sensitive information. So shouldn't the government go after him for that?
Well, I don't think people who have a conscience appoint themselves to be the revealers of truthful information. I think the government improperly classifies a lot of information that is otherwise in the public's interest to know. And at least, even though Bradley Manning is not talking right now, his initial statements were allegedly that he felt something terribly illegal was going on. And there are procedures in place, but more often than not, those procedures don't work.
WikiLeaks is now saying that there's some 15,000 more documents that they're vetting for release as we tape this program. The government, the U.S. government, is trying to muster as much power as it can to stop that, including going to NATO allies and trying to pressure them to bring prosecutions against WikiLeaks and Julian Assange as well. But isn't it really the case that if you're a sovereign, if you're a government, that you have a responsibility, authority, and duty, in fact, when classified information is being released to try to shut down that valve?
Well, I think the government would say that it has that kind of duty, but if, to the extent that the government's apoplectic when public servants leak to the regular mainstream media, they are completely out of sorts about WikiLeaks. And what the government really should focus on is creating meaningful channels for whistleblowers and truth tellers and people who have a conscience and are concerned that the government is engaged in illegal activity to go through. I don't think anyone can watch the collateral murder video and say with a straight face.
This would be the video of the Iraqi helicopter.
The collateral murder video, and say that that did not violate the laws of war. You have people joking about it, high-fiving each other through the rifle, a lens on the rifle, saying, oh, I think he's reaching for a gun, haha. Can we have permission to shoot?
All right, we just engaged all 8 individuals. Yeah, we got 2 bursts, we're still firing. Roger. Got him.
6 6, we'll move, but we got 13.
Oh, I'm sorry, well,
You want to bypass?
God damn it, Kyle. Sorry. I hit it by head.
If you look at the bigger picture, there are definite potential violations of the rules of war, the law of war, and that has not been touched on at all. Somehow the entire conversation has been changed and transmogrified into talking about Bradley Manning.